There we go. Now we are recording. It's a pleasure connecting with each and every one of us this afternoon. My name is Akinkunmi Akingbade, principal consultant for A3 Immigration. And this afternoon, I'm not doing this alone. Usually, if you want to book a session here in Canada with a lawyer, it's going to cost you some fortune. But by virtue of we must do this, I've had to go and bring her from the community, from the lawyer community in Winnipeg. I had to draft her out from the party. The party is ongoing. I had to bring her out this afternoon. I have with myself, lawyer, senior barrister. They don't use senior barrister here, but it's okay. Uh, she was going to get to the bench. I have her here with me, Abosede, who is connecting with us. Akinsola, she's here. Thank you so much for joining us, lawyer. Please, if you are joining late, just help us and mute so I don't have to mute you. Thank you. So it's a pleasure connecting everyone. Abosede has a wealth of experience. She's a Nigerian lawyer as well as a Canadian lawyer. She's called to bar here in Canada as well. She practices from Winnipeg. So in case you are looking to come to Winnipeg, she's your go-to person on this call. Thank you so very much for connecting with me, Barrister. I'm great. So we are here. I'm going to be taking a couple of, I'm just going to allow her to introduce herself to us, and then this session is going to last us for an hour. It's not going to extend beyond an hour. So whatever questions you guys have got, please ensure you leave them out. We would try to finish these presentations early enough. And then we have a video recording that is ongoing. We also have, for people who are joining us late, and we also have the PowerPoint presentation, which will be shared with everyone. So I'm going to ask you to please leave out your email address. I'm going to leave out a link. I'm trying to see if I can get a hold of that link for you to input just a couple of details, your name, email address, and phone number. That's all. The one that was captured in the course of your registration, technical can be very technical. We had some issues with our back end. We're not able to retrieve all. So we want to be sure that we are capturing everyone and that everyone have access to the same information. And since this is free, we are not going to be hiding information from you guys. Thank you. So over to you, Barrister. Let me allow you to introduce yourself to us, and then we take it from there. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abosede Abidemi. I'm a lawyer. I'm a dual qualified lawyer. That means I practice law in Nigeria and here in Canada. I'm based off Winnipeg, Manitoba. 90% of my practice is immigration law. The rest is general practice minus criminal laws. It's a pleasure to be on this platform with Dr. Akinkunmi Akingbade, who is my very good friend, my colleague, my senior. Don't mind it. When he calls me barista, he's just trying to hype me. Ordinarily, when you call us, we charge consultation fee. We're doing this free to clear the air based on our previous experience. We're all still waiting for what the Immigration Refugee Citizenship Canada IRCC will roll up March 31st. But from previous experience, once the portal opens up, the next thing is it crashes and all that. We're hoping it doesn't crash, and we're going to be giving you tips on how to better prepare yourself so that at least before it gets crowded, it will not crash. We're believers. We are Christians. We believe it will not crash in Jesus' name. We'll do our thing before it crashes, and we hope it doesn't crash. And we don't know if they're going to have a quota, like number of application they're going to take. We'll be letting you know what you can do to best prepare yourself before the fastest fingers takes it. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, lawyer. A lot of people are asking for link to join. Sorry, we're supposed to send this out but like I said, the system crashed. and we're not able to gather everyone who was registered. If you know any of your friends also who have registered, please just endeavor to send them the link. I would really appreciate so that nobody's left out. Having mentioned that, we're going to get started right from the beginning, which is, this is not new. Government asking, IRCC asking individuals to come in through the caregiver pathway, the caregiver pathway, I beg your pardon. It's not something new. So it's important for us to begin from there. It is not new. It is what has happened before. What do you need to know? So please, if you are joining us in late, we would appreciate if you can just keep yourself muted so that others will not have to.
The programs that are Savita's downtown community will be in village are a testament to the shared commitment. Savita actually acquired that building from the YMCA back in spring 2023.
Sorry, just a minute. I'm trying to see which.
We collaborate with more than a dozen organizations, groups, and volunteers to provide wraparound support.
I'm gonna. Okay, I'm gonna mute everyone. Thank you. So this pathway is not something that is new. It has happened, and the last edition of it got closed last year. And so in an attempt, the government is saying we can find a way to bring in everyone and bring them in through that pathway. Number one is we need to understand that every condition of every attempt of IRCC always comes with a condition. What do you need to know? Number one. Now, we must understand that it comes with a lot of expectations. It comes with a lot of expectations. Sorry, what are the checklists? There are two categories of individuals who would qualify. Okay, I'm trying to get somebody to be a co-host so that way this can be managed. Sorry, everyone. Can you still see my screen? Everyone, sorry.
No, we're not.
Okay, I think I'm able to do that now.
Yes, you are.
So what are the checklists? What are the things you need to understand? The number one is when you say you want to come in through this caregiver route, the number one requirement is your eligibility. How eligible are you? Now, when we talk about eligibility, a lot of individuals think, oh, it's something I'm just able to at any point in time. Say, oh, I have a caregiver experience. No. For you to qualify, you must have at least 1 year of work experience within the last 3 years. So it simply means if you want to qualify to come in as a permanent resident, please take note of the word permanent resident through this caregiver pathway. You need to have at least 1 year of full-time work experience. Now, it simply means whether it is you taking care of your sibling, taking care of your neighbor's kids, working in the space of individuals who qualify in that class, you must have a 1 year of work experience. Someone is asking me, so what if I don't have a work experience? Then your PR will be approved, but subject to that full time of work experience. So it simply means you have an option to come in with your PR being approved, but you come in on a work permit. So it simply means it is not actually, you don't necessarily have to modify your resume to suit who you are not. You don't have to modify your resume to suit who you are not. If you don't have the experience, your PR will be approved subject to that work experience inside Canada. However, if you have the work experience from outside of Canada, maybe in Nigeria, we have individuals connecting with us from the UK, a lot of healthcare workers, lots of individuals connecting from different spaces. So if you have any of these, then you qualify, you have the work experience foreign. Before now, the difference between this one and the previously closed ones was because the other ones require work experience inside Canada. However, the government has come to say you don't need an inside Canada experience anymore. Foreign experience would also count. So it simply means you must have that work experience. We are going to get into documents you need to show in order to prove that you have that work experience, because it is not enough for you to just say, I have it. I've seen individuals who have reached out. Part of the questions I've seen, oh, I really don't have this work experience, but I think I've done some certifications. I just did my own yesterday. Some are even still doing their own. Some will still do their own before the March 31st. So if you're having those certifications done, there is no way you have a certification dated today, and then tomorrow you say you have 1 year of work experience in that field that is related to the certificate you're having. That's not going to add up. So 1 year of work experience is required. And then the next is a minimum Canadian language benchmark, which we call a CLB, of 4 in English or in French. Now, CLB 4 simply means you are the basic. That's basic. A CLB 4 means you have a 4.0, 4.5 average in your high ELTS. And then with one of them, listening or in writing or in reading, you have one of the score to be about 6. And you have 4.5 in the rest. That should likely get you a CLB of 4. You may want to check with that or Google for assessment on what is the CLB. The CLB is not IELTS of 4. It's not CELPIP of 4. It's not PTE of 4. I hope we understand. It simply means it is conversion of those testing languages, either the IELTS, either the CELPIP, either the PTE. And if it is French, either it is TEF or it is TCF, it is any of those class of French, a CLB of 4. Somebody saying, I can get that. So a native English speaker should be able to get a 4. A native, that's for individuals. I know larger chunk of our audience this afternoon are from Nigeria. So as a Nigerian, our language, primary language is English. So whether your own is broken English or fluent English, English is English. Our basic language is English. You should be able to get a CLB of 4. And then the next one that I also want to talk about extensively is that you must have at least a Canadian high school diploma or educational credential assessment for foreign education. So somebody is saying, do I necessarily have to have a diploma? No. Here in this part of the world, high school, we call it high school diploma. So it's the same as your basic O levels in Nigeria, just like your WAEC or your NECO or whatever. I know most West African communities, we've had clients from various walks of West Africa and some part of Africa too. I think the O levels is basic. That means you must have been able to have a minimum of your WAEC or your GCE or whatever it is that is the basic. So somebody's asking, what if I have a diploma? Then a diploma, that's ordinary national diploma, OND, and you have gone past the level of this one they are talking about. That means you are well qualified. You have a first degree, you are well qualified. You have a master's, a PhD, whatever it is you have, you are way qualified. The basic requirement is a Canadian high school diploma, or simply put, O levels. Now, this has to be evaluated. It is not enough to have your WAEC. It is not enough for you to have your NECO or your O levels. You need to evaluate this. And when we talk about the word evaluation, it simply means there are basic evaluating bodies in Canada that is accredited to evaluate your credentials. Number one, most popular, we have WES. Almost everybody know WES. There's the IQAS, there's the ICES. There are a lot of them. So you need to get your transcript. A lot of us have never seen national diploma. You have never seen your O-levels transcript before. When you get to WAEC office, they can have that sent directly to WES or to ICES or to IQOS. They just evaluate it and it will come back as your Canadian high school diploma. So that is key. In case you are planning to, on Monday morning, you should be on your way to evaluating bodies to get this done. Simply means you have to pay those body, or whichever body you are using to evaluate, you pay them. They give you a code, you take it to wherever you're evaluating from. And if you want to use your bachelor's degree or your national diploma, somebody has an HND, whatever it is you have, higher national diploma, you have your master's, whatever it is you're evaluating, it's the same process. You just have to get that done. And then next, for eligibility requirement is you must have a job offer, a genuine, that's why the word genuine is there, genuine job offer from a Canadian employer. We're going to get into the next phase of who can be an employer, but those are what you need. And of course, proof of intent to work in Canada as a home support or child support worker. Home support or child support worker, proof of intent. That is also key. It simply means a lot of individuals, I've seen a lot of ads, that's what prompted this session. I've seen a lot of individuals saying, even if you are not looking to work for the person, even if you're not looking to come to Canada, you can just come in, just look for one and just look for any employer. Any employer, it's not anybody. There's a class of individuals who qualify. For instance, somebody who runs a day home here or a daycare may not qualify to give you a job offer. Or somebody who has a child may qualify to. So these are part of the things we will look into in the next couple of slides. I will have, Abosede will talk a little about that. And proof of intent, how do you prove that you intend to work here in Canada under that class? So it simply means you have a PhD in animal science. You are not only looking to come in through this caregiver and then all of a sudden you move. You elope. You need to have that proof of intent to work in Canada under that class for which you are coming in from. So, Abosede, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Akingbade. Can we all hear me? I wanted to drop a hint. I want to drop something. When you were talking about the employment requirements, we have some suggestions, some tips for you. For anybody on this call who want to be part of this program, we suggest you get first aid and CPR certification from wherever you are. Have it handy. It's also proof of intent. I I, I believe we understand what I'm saying. Make sure you tell yourself or whoever it is you're employing, and if you're the one who is interested in coming as that employee, first aid and CPR certification is, we don't know if it will be required, but it shows intent that you know that if anything happens, you know how to do CPR, you know how to apply first aid. Home management, excuse me, basic Google search. Just look up what does home management means. In case this March 31st caregiver program comes up as the home branch and child branch, check up what does home management mean. Cooking, cleaning, there are various aspects to home management. Um, there are some online courses on Coursera and other websites on in home support. You can try to look them up. Quick courses, like Dr. Akingbade said. He said you can't have a PhD in zoology and you want to come show us that you need to package yourself appropriately. There are courses in home support. March 31st. That's still more than a month away. There's some quick crash courses that you can take. The certifications are genuine online. There's some training programs for elderly persons or persons with disabilities. I'm dropping these hints. Go online, check them. They might be free or cheap. But I know that there are some institutions online that offer these things, maybe at 8 hours at a stretch or walking. Just try to find out at them. Um, I like to talk about. I think he has mentioned the document checklist. Let me look at what is important. That what I just dropped now is a tip. Please note it is very important.
I haven't talked about the checklist.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about the checklist right now. There is, it's Canadian immigration application is usually form heavy, very heavy. There's a form, there's that form. Whenever you want to fill the form, make sure you've eaten well, make sure you drink enough water, make sure you have peace of mind. Because an error could lead to a misrepresentation, and misrepresentation could earn you a 5-year ban. You don't want to destroy what you have not started. So there will be forms. We know that there are forms online to be filled. Whenever, no matter how sophisticated you are, no matter how educated you are, before you fill any Canadian immigration form, make sure you are in the right state of mind. You're not under pressure. You're not in a hurry. Mistakes are very costly, please. Of course, you must have a passport. For travel documents, we mean for persons who are in Canada and sought asylum, they usually take their passport, but they give them a travel document. You need passports. And this application, so far, we do not think is strictly for persons in Canada alone. We're speaking with you based on previous experience. We'd like to state that we do not have the private written notes of the Minister of Immigration on the policy being rolled out. Nobody has it, but because of previous experience, we're saying this. He has mentioned educational certification. Don't worry, you have WAEC, it doesn't matter. So far as you have WAEC, it is evaluatable. If I'm allowed to use that word, you can evaluate your WAEC with anybody. It's just like saying we have a lot of I'm going to use Nigeria as example because I'm from Nigeria. Well, so I want to go to Mr. Pigs when there is Mama Cass and all that there. We usually say go do West because that's what most people use. There are various evaluating bodies, but we will keep mentioning West. So that's why when you see ECA, it means evaluation credentials. Whichever one you're comfortable with, you can evaluate WAEC. Please don't feel, oh, because I have WAEC, I do not qualify. No, you can evaluate WAEC. And your English test is very expensive. Although it says for CLB, try to do it like you want to get a 9. Impossibility is nothing. For anybody who has ever traveled, if you have ever traveled out of your home country, you're going to need police clearance certificate from the countries you have been to. Meanwhile, if you've been to any country where information online shows that it is difficult to get their police clearance certificate, make sure you do not call that country. Make sure you have email trails to show that you attempted, but you did not get it. IRCC understands that some country find it difficult, or they try to stress you before giving you police clearance certificate. Don't let that hinder you. And don't go to a police station. It's only Alagbon. Dr. Akingbade, am I speaking your mind? It's only Alagbon in
Yes.
Lagos. That's for Nigeria. If you're from Nigeria, it is only Alagbon in Lagos, in Ikoyi, that has an acceptable police clearance certificate for Canada purposes. Therefore, medical examination report. I think we should put the link there, sir. There's a link for all panel physicians, i.e., all the hospitals where you can do your medical reports for Canada purposes. It's not just any hospital. I'm going to continue more on the checklist. Just a moment. Just a moment. Um. Okay. Proof of funds. It's important to talk about proof of funds. Proof of funds. Please do not cook accounts. Please do not. Whatever it is you have, because right now we don't even know how much is going to be POF. It's PR purposes. Whatever you have, your property gets license, no, not license. What do they call it? ESV in Nigeria. Somebody who is licensed in estate surveyor and valuer, get a valuer to value your real estate. You've got parents with real estate and you want to do this, get a deed of gifts. Don't subscribe to cooking up fraudulent proof of fund. You don't want to do all this stress and still get banned. Because when all of this happens, when you meet the rogue agents who put all of this together for you, for not for you, when applicants do this, they still come back to us and it could have been avoided. So do your thing straight. If the universe says you're going to get the PR through this route, fine. You can get this PR through this route without going AWire, without going outside the law. Start putting your proof of fund together. Okay, it is not mandatory. Well, you have 3 4 kids. If you have a large family, for Canada, I can tell you a large family start from dad, mom, 3 kids. That's 5 of you. You're coming to be an employee somewhere. Then you should also have something. Maybe something to rent a house. That's what proof of fund to show that you have something to rent your own place. We have not seen what the policy is going to be like, but you should also prepare yourself so that when the policy get rolled out and it is not an issue, then you're at peace. It's better to err on the side of surplusage and err on the side of caution. If you're separated, your separation document. If you're divorced, your divorce document. If you're married, your marriage certificate is very important. um Birth certificates. So we really don't pay attention to birth certificates. It is very important to Canada. If you don't have a birth certificate, something happened, there was a fire incident, get an attestation of birth. Get an attestation of birth. Employment records. Yes, we keep saying Nigeria is. I keep using Nigeria. If there's anybody on this call that is not Nigerian, please let us know. I'm speaking because I'm from Nigeria. Dr. Akingbade is from Nigeria, and I can say a lot of names that are Nigerian here. We're not saying everyone here is Nigeria. So using Nigeria as a case study, a lot of people have claimed that they get paid cash for their salaries, so they don't have pay stub. They don't have what's that again? Work contracts. Even if you're working for a family business, ensure that you have evidence that you're paying your income tax, whichever state of the country you're in. Canada is going to ask you for employment. They might ask you for employment reference letter, which you can always get. They might ask you for employment record, which consists of your job offer letter, your pay stub, and maybe relevant credentials and trainings. You don't want to have all of these that we've mentioned and you can't provide that. You don't want to do that. Of course, updated resume and CV to show that you're doing this job. You've done this job. That was why we mentioned that you should check home management. What does home management mean? If you want to say, I mean, without being biased, a typical Nigerian woman knows how to manage a home. You cook for children, you make the home, right? So, and if you're a guy, I mean, I have a client who came through the former route, HCCP guy. He came in here and, his packaging was so superb. I mean, he's got 4 children, and he mentioned that his wife was the one running the family business. because he actually studied in the health route. He studied biochemistry. He said he's the one who takes care of his children, who drops them off at school, who makes dinner even for his wife. I mean, the guy's packaging was out of this world. He's here. He's actually on this call. He came to join to, to just say hello to people. He got it. A guy. He got it. I can tell you, he got it. So it's not about, oh, it's a woman's job. Don't do that. No, don't do that. You could qualify to who says here they don't discriminate here. Oh. That's cultural thing that no. Home care is for women. No, we've seen men who put their foot forward and show that they are and they were and are able, and they're here. So let your CV sell you. Canada may probably not give you Canada may probably not give you the opportunity to have an interview. Yeah, some of the things I'm saying is not on the slide because we made our slide short and beautiful. It's just, I mean, I can't put this story in the slide. Somebody mentioned that what I'm saying is not in the slide. I'm just fleshing it to let us know that let your CV show what you said you can do. Your CV is what will sell you. Next slide. Next slide, Dr. Akingbade. Okay, I think I mentioned this proof of relationship, your police certificates, alagbon, your medical reports. You must have valid passports and travel documents. Next slide, sir. Okay, I'll leave the checklist for employers for you, sir. Dr. Akin.
Okay, since I'm the one taking the employer, no problem. I wanted to push you to this one. Okay, so for people who qualify based on previous experience, now the NOC, when we talk about the NOC recently has changed. Last year there has been a new NOC different from what we used to know. These two are those who qualify under this class. NOC 44101 and NOC 44100. Now, somebody may be asking, what's the difference? The difference is that why one is the home support worker. She has just mentioned, the lawyer has just mentioned that being an homemaker, right? Knowing how to cook, to clean, all of these are under the home support worker option. Yes, please go ahead.
People are asking to be let in, sir.
We have
There's no
nobody's
restriction
going
on coming
to,
in.
there's
Okay.
no restriction. Thank you. Yeah, so the home support worker and then the child support worker. So it simply means any of those two class of individuals can qualify. You don't necessarily have to be taking care of a child. Yours might just be to give support to the home. That is a class. You may want to read more on that. Why the other one is the child support worker. So the idea of, oh, I need to come and take care of a child, since it's caregiver, to give care to anybody at any level. Child support worker simply means there are families, individuals who have children that are younger, and then you want to come and lend them a support. That is what those class talks about, those NOCs. Number one requirement is that this job offer you are being given, this job offer you are being given or you are to be given must be a full-time, non-seasonal job. When we talk about full-time, here in this part of the world, full-time is 30 hours, begins from 30 hours up until X, where X is the number of hours you can work. So minimum requirement is that the job offer, whoever is giving you an employment, must meet these 30 hours. It simply means the person is saying, I'm giving lawyer Abosede the 30 hours to come and work every week. So 30 hours a week. So it also would translate to the kind of letter you also will be coming with. So it simply means if you say you are working for an individual full time, the minimum requirement must be that you worked 30 hours a week. So it simply means if you are working part-time, then it must be 2 years to make 1 year. Do you understand it now? So it must be 2 years to make 1 year, since half-time is... someone said the joining link isn't working for people. There are over 100 people on the call. It is. Let them keep trying. Apologies. Yeah, so like I said, it must be a full-time job role. 30 hours minimum is expected every week. And we must also have, that is, the job offer that you are being issued must clearly state your wages. That simply means you are not coming to volunteer for the person. The person, even though you want to hire your blood brother or your blood sister or your relative, they are coming here to work for you. They must be paid. So you must state it there clearly. So I'm going to offer Sister X minimum of $18 an hour, $20 an hour. So, well, somebody's already saying the links are working. MTN is the one giving you issue. So please talk to MTN. Oh, we can tag MTN on the call. So we are going to have to state how long the person is going to work. When we talk about working conditions, it simply means this person is going to be a live-in caregiver or a live-out caregiver. So when you say a live-in caregiver, you have a family of 7. I recently had a client, a family of 11. You know, I've known that people used to give birth very well, but I've not seen it before, right? The highest we have had was a family of 9. But this year, we had a family of 11. 9 children, one person gave birth to 11. Gave birth to 9 kids, rather, husband and wife. So a family of 11. Let's assume you are getting a letter and the person says, you are going to come live with me. And he's only giving you 1 room. Where do you want to put 11 people? In fact, I jokingly had to ask the woman, so when you guys want to go out, how do you go? He said, they park bus. The park bus. The park bus to go out. The conditions, living conditions must suit the kind of application. So if your employer is saying, I'm doing 7 year, I'm gonna give you an accommodation, and you're a family of 7, then definitely it will be not wise for you to live in 1 room with 7. Canada is not going to allow that. Canada won't allow that for you. So having mentioned that, financial statements, working condition, job duties. Are you coming to work under the home support worker class or under child support worker? And this is where it is very key. IRCC is going to pick it when you do direct lifting. You know what they call direct lifting. You just go to the site, you just type NOC 100444100, and then you lift everything word for word. You put it in your letter. It's gonna pick it. So you have to be able to, and then you don't want to mix up the two together. Somebody who is coming under NOC 44100, you don't want to mix the 2 jobs together to say, you will take care of my child and also help me with cooking and also help me with this one. Let's not mix them together. It can lead to the refusal of the application. So you need to clearly state what class, what's the person going to be coming to do for us. We are sorry, a lot of people are asking. Sorry, so as a lot of people are asking, no, I registered, they didn't give me link. Sorry, I know. We are sorry. Next one will not be like this. So that's what I need you guys to take note of. And then proof of that employer. For an employer that is saying, I want to pay you $20 an hour, and you want to work 30 hours a week, minimum, at minimum, that employer must be able to have that financial capacity. How do you demonstrate that you have financial capacity? Here in this part of the world, it's called notice of assessment. So there must be this, yet, just like a caveat too, a disclaimer. While RCC have not come out to say this is what it is, based on past experience, I'm not thinking should change so much. is that you must have a family income. The person that is giving you a letter, whether your brother, your sister, your uncle, an employer, genuine employer, whatever, must make a family income of minimum of 100,000. Now, in this part of the world, there's what we call LICO, low income cutoff. Depending on the size of their own family, that factor would also have to be considered. So it simply means if somebody is already a family of 7, their living expenses for that is 100,000. Now they want to bring you in, one person. They just needed to add additional few amounts of dollars to it. But now you are also coming with 6. So that means they have to, so it's a family of 14. Your LICO, the LICO of your employer has to do with the volume, the number of family members that is coming in. So it is not even generalized. Somebody says, oh, once you make 100,000 household income before taxes, you are solid. If the size of the family you are coming with is more than this, they also need to meet that, because now they are responsible. You are the only one they are giving job to. But imagine this $20 a month, $20 for a family of 7 will not take care of that family of 7. So that talks about funds. And the fund does not necessarily be funds that you have built over time. That's the beauty of this PR application. It could be a gift from friends, from families. It could be anything. So I've dwelt so much on that. How can your employer prove that they meet the requirement? Number 1 is notice of assessment. They need a notice of assessment to show how much they made, whether as personal, and it must be a personal income. So they are not bringing their business income. So say, oh, based on the business now, if it is an individual that is giving you the letter, they must make that one. Their tax documents prove that they have lived in Canada, or whatever their status is in Canada is also part of what they must do. What are the employer's documents? They must give you a signed offer letter. It doesn't have to be something bogus. It doesn't have to be well designed. You don't have to do. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be something that is well crafted, right? It could be just an employment letter, a regular one, like the one they give you. It's okay. Just showing all of those information. The contract, when we signed off of employment contracts, there is a standard that the government is looking for. You can check online to see that your employer will sign. It must meet the provincial employment standard. There is one that is designed basically for employers, that is individuals who want to employ others. There is one that they meet. You can check that and download that online. And the beauty of this also is that it is LMIA exempt. It simply means the employer doesn't have to do the advert, doesn't have to go through the stress of doing so many things. You speak to your church member, you speak to your family member, you speak to your friends. They have individuals who are willing to. That's all. In fact, they don't need to share a lot of stuff with you. Just that letter alone, and then whatever additional document is being prepared for. So, statement confirming that the employer has needs for a home or a child support. For instance, your employer cannot just say, oh, because the caregiver route is open now, I just want to also. There must be a statement that says that, okay, why do you need this individual to come in? I've had people, based on the last application, who have reached out to me and said, please, so the RCC just reach out to us and they are asking. So it's just a statement. It's just a regular statement. Why do you need? In some cases, government even call. Why do you think you want to bring in 2 people at the same time? Why do you think you want to bring in 1 person? Why do you think you want to do this? And then you justify it. Okay, I'm working. My husband is also working. We don't have time to take care of the kids. Just come up with whatever. Let them come up with whatever. But there must be a statement for that purpose. I want to leave the next 7-8 minutes for us to ask questions. I've seen a couple of questions sent privately to me and some to the general platform. So I have questions regarding, someone is saying I have a question regarding IELTS. So yes, IELTS can be ready before then. It takes, I think IELTS now is doing CBT, so it's computer based. You can just, within 5 days, your result is out. That's all. So if you register to write the exam next week, you can get it in 5 days or 3 days self. So you can still write it. Somebody's, okay, what if I just want to go over I just want to get my evaluation done. I think West does 21 days now, so you can still get it done within now and the timing. Somebody's asking another question here. If you are already in Canada, should I get... Yes. If you have, yes, you must have anywhere you have lived for more than 6 months. Anywhere you have lived for more than 6 months, you need the police clearance. You need the one for Canada if you have lived in Canada for more than 6 months. If you have lived in Canada for more than 6 months, you need that one. And also you need one for Nigeria or any other place you have lived. Please, somebody's asking, if my experience involves teaching children, does it count? Teaching children, there's a way you modify your resume, and teaching children is taking care of children now. Government is even looking for teachers. So maybe one of these days, we'll come back and say we want to talk on teachers, teachers and transporters, or all of those other class. Somebody said is CELPIP accepted? Yes, we mentioned that. IELTS, CELPIP, PTE, whatever. There are a lot of, I think those are basic three. And TEF. International students who are already working part-time as caregivers qualified have been working for 6 months plus now. You said part-time. You need do you have a full-time job offer? So if you have a full-time job offer, yes, you will qualify. But if you don't, you can get a PR, but will be subject to
Number of years
to be
worked
subject
already.
to you to meet that condition of job offer. Yeah. So as a student, you are not able to work full-time. You didn't pay me for that one. So let me
Okay,
just
okay. You
tell you.
missed out Gbemi Femi Ademo's question. So
Okay.
Gbemi, you said you wanted to confirm if it's just for individual employers or can it be a company. We gave this seminar based on previous work done. The previous pathway was for employer and company. It allowed an organization to be an employer, that's company. It allows an individual to be an employer. So we don't know if this time around it's going to be strictly company or if it's still going to be the same way. So a person can qualify. That was why it was mentioning the number, size, and all that of the family. I hope that answers your question, baby. So it could be either way. The last one was uh, a family member with needs who needs help with someone in their home or a child qualifies. So you must. I hope that answers your question, Baby. The previous one, an organization, aka company, qualified, and an individual who can show that they have needs. Some persons have children with disabilities, or they're busy, they need help with their children to understand their languages. That was what he meant when he said you have to be able to show the intent. Oh, I'm Yoruba, for instance. I want my children to understand Yoruba. I'm a lawyer. I'm so busy. I need someone to help me, right? So that I can work more hours, pay more taxes to the government. I need somebody. And if my children are, within a particular number of years. So for now, we can tell you that based off previous experience, individuals qualified and organizations qualified. But what's going to be rolled out on the 31st, we do not know. Thank you. Oh, a lot of
Thank
questions.
you so much, Barista. I can see where questions are coming in. Let's take a couple of more. Somebody is asking if okay, no, I've answered that. I'm already in Canada. I've looked after my grandson for 1 year and another baby is due soon. Congratulations in advance. I was not paid any salary, but I've looked after the baby full time on a living basis. How do we prove serious employment? Barista,
I can answer that question.
yes.
Grandma, congratulations to you. And this is a PR pathway. And for us to get your PR, if you have the basic education, even if it's WAEC you have, let's start with evaluation of that WAEC quickly. Write English, you're in Canada, write English test. It's very quick to get online. Grammar, write your test, evaluate your credentials, then let your children, I don't know if it's the wife or the husband that is your child, let them get ready to pay you. I hope they are not. And for everyone on this call that is an eligible employer. If you're on government assistance, you are not going to qualify. If you're on government assistance, government is giving you some extra things and all that. You cannot employ. Which money are you going to pay the employee? So let's quickly let's
You can't need help and give up.
Let's
You
backtrack.
can't
If
you
you're
can't need
enjoying,
help and give up.
please, if you're enjoying government fund, all this money, stop. If you want to help the people back home, you can't be collecting money from government and you're telling them you want to employ somebody. It's not going to happen. So, grandma, I hope you understand. If you have university certificate, see, we decided to pick WAEC. If you have PhD, just evaluate your highest degree, please. Don't bother with WAEC. If you have higher degrees, we're trying to say that at this point, this is a program that is a leveler. If you have WAEC and I have PhD, we will qualify for this program. Okay. So for grammar, I think this depends on the people you're with. If you're not on government assistance, if you have minimum WAEC, if you can try, write English test so that you're ready. How do you? Yes, you have evidence to prove. They can show evidence that, I mean, when you came in as a visitor, I don't know if you came in to say you wanted to help them come take care of the children. They can write, you have evidence that you've taken care, but it was an unpaid position, which is still fine. Well, I don't know if it's fine or not based on IRCC rules, but you've got the experience, grammar. So write the test, evaluate your WAEC if you have one, then you're ready. Okay. You
Awesome.
can
Thank you, Barista. Yeah, so for everyone asking, so this is what we are gonna do. I think the maximum we're able to come up on this call, we would there's a phone line you can add for. The link will be sent to you. I'm also trying to give you a link. If you can register on that link, we'll send you out this one so that you can also get to see what it is that we have discussed for people who came in late. Somebody is asking, must we evaluate both WAEC and university certificate? You can evaluate both, you can evaluate one. Yeah, so everybody qualifies for child benefit in Canada. So most people qualify for child benefit. What we are saying by assistance is not child benefit. CCB is not, that's not what we are talking about. We are talking about people who are currently not working, individuals who are on EI, you're on EI, or you have other assistance. If you don't live in Canada, you may not know those ones. So you have other assistance that the government is giving to you. If you don't have, you can't say you are taking money from government and you still want to pay other people. But if it
assistance
is
like social benefits, rent
social benefits,
assist.
yeah.
All that. I mean, the government is helping you pay your rent, giving you something as stipends, and you want to employ somebody. That's dead on arrival. Are doctors in Nigeria allowed to apply? If you're in the medical field and you can show that, I mean, there are doctors, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, I'm a lawyer, and maybe they are a doctor of bones, and you want to come take care of someone who's got bone issues, they need care in their home, you qualify. I think people in medical profession, okay, let me summarize. The essence of this webinar is so that you don't begin to feel because I'm not in the medical profession, I do not qualify. For those in the medical profession, I think you will qualify based on the experience you claim you've had. It's for you to show. But this webinar is just to open the eyes of people to the fact that despite I do not have a medical background, I might just qualify if I'm a home carer, if I'm a home manager, or if I've raised children, my siblings' children, if I've raised them, then I've got experience. I need them to put together something for me. Or maybe I volunteered somewhere, or maybe I even got paid somewhere and I forgot about it because I felt it was a dirty job. But now it might come in handy if you can get the reference letter saying, oh, I worked with these people for 2 years, maybe while waiting for NYSC. Situations happen to us. We're all Nigerians. No, we're not all Nigerians. Some of us Nigerians had to do some job while waiting for another phase of our lives. So doctors, Oluwabumi Adeboye Shotiloye, yes, I think doctors will qualify if they are
And
not
that's applicable to
busy,
nurses too.
and that's applicable to
Thank you.
nurses, if they are not busy doing administrative work.
I'm trying to see if we can still take one or two more questions. It's almost 2:00.
Okay.
To my time. The conversion of certificates can be done individually or must be done by West or by the issuing body, because I have my certificate already and I'm out of Nigeria. It has to be done it has to be sent directly from your institution. Wow, a lot of individuals are saying that our Zoom link already reached the maximum, so they're not able to come in. We are sorry. So now we are expanding. The next one will take in 1,000 people. Over 230 individuals registered for this, and we are sorry.
Adiola says they can they employ 2 people at the same time? You've already done one application and it's still in process. If they allow you, why not?
It's better
Why
to
not say
put
2
it in
people?
inside and they tell you no than for
Put
you to
it in.
say I don't know.
Put it in
There's no I don't know with
with the
IRCC.
IRCC. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just put it in. I know some individuals who who brought in 2 persons. Yeah. The wife brought in 1, the husband brought in 1. So it depends on the we have mentioned that if you think you have the financial capacity to pay them, because it has to be paid, it won't be free. Yeah, somebody says I'm a lawyer, I have experience in childcare, can I apply? 100%.
100%.
Yes, that one doesn't need to waste time on that one. Please, how
Altogether.
can I get employer in Canada that will give me a job offer? Well, so this is what you can do when it comes to getting jobs. There are sites designated, Indeed.ca, Glassdoor, CI, Canada Job Bank itself, and so many other ways. You have recruiters who are homes. There are people who manages homes, agencies. Those are individuals those are individuals you can approach to help with job offer. I do not give job offer. Lawyer Abosede does not give job offer. So that's a disclaimer there.
Thank you.
Is police clearance in Canada same with vulnerable sector check?
No. No, it's totally different.
When you get to where they do, you just tell them you want police clearance, they will give you. They will tell you what to do. It usually will take about 2 to 4 weeks in Canada. But if you have done it and it's yet to come, the proof that you have done it is enough to go ahead. If government requires some additional information, and that's the beauty of this. If you do not have, for instance, your police clearance, government will come back and ask you. There are some basic things they will come back to ask you in terms of additional documents. Somebody says, what if I've worked as a caregiver on volunteer in Nigeria? How will I go about proof of payment?
If you volunteered and you were never paid, you say you were never paid for it, but you have the experience.
So you just put unpaid. When it comes to this idea, you may also fall within the class of individuals who do not have the experience, who will still get the PR, but subject to work experience. Because if you are not able to,
I think we need to clear that air, sir. So it's
yeah.
a PR pathway.
Mm.
You might not qualify for the PR, but you might qualify for work permit. So you're
That's
aiming
it.
for the heavens, you fall on the skies. So I have 10 years experience, but they're all unpaid. But I have the experience. And every other thing, you might qualify. You will not just come as PR. You might come as a worker for you to show your Canadian experience with evidence of being paid for it. Right? So if you do not when we're saying do your IELTS, evaluate your credentials, get your proof of fund, get your job offer, you are coming ready. It is possible you submit and they're like, okay, this person qualifies, we'll just give them work permits so that they can work for 6 months in Canada and qualify. But don't shoot yourself in the leg by saying, I do not think I qualify. If some of the things we mentioned and that we're going to send, if you check out, put in your application, what's the worst that can happen?
Okay. Thank you so much, Barista. I know this is the system is just coming out and coming out. Thank you so much to the 100 individuals who have joined us this afternoon on this call. We have received a lot of emails, messages coming in. If you have not already done so, please ensure you there's a link for you to add up. Just send us a WhatsApp message or click on the link. We will send out the points discussed on this to everyone. And then also, if I'm able to beg Barista to join me on another edition, if I'm able to beg her to join me, maybe I will beg her to let us do a version 2.0. Maybe if I'm able to. By then, you might have had a couple of questions. Somebody saying, please don't send your emails on this platform, or the platform will soon take it out. There's a link for you to click, or there a phone line for you to click on. Please just do that so that you can have it. We are not able to capture everyone with email. The same link, I'm just going to give us 2 minutes to do that in case you need to copy the link or you need to take a shot of the phone line. Just send a message and say, caregiver, I was part of it, and then it will be sent out to you. And then if I'm able to beg Barista, like I was saying, I will not forget. Like I was saying, if I'm able to beg her, she says yes, then we'll come back with version 2.0 bigger and better.
Yes,
And then we'll take from there.
I'm doing my share of building the nation. Oh yes, why not?
Thank you. This is a nice one, though. Okay, so guys, watch out for the second edition. Let me look at our calendar. Barista, are you open?
What
Are you
date,
open
sir?
for March 11th? It will be a Tuesday. It will be a work. It will be on. It won't be weekend again. No. This weekend is like everybody's available on weekend. We just want to deal with a limited few, not 700 people.
No, you can't do no if I'm coming back, because I also have a lot of clients who are giving me arrows here that they couldn't get in with evidence that they couldn't get in. You have to make sure that it is whatever it was you did that made it 100 is not acceptable, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma. So what date? Can we do March 11th?
Okay, I'll check
If you are
it. My
open.
assistant doesn't work today, so I don't want my schedule. Tentatively
Okay.
11 should work.
So
Yeah.
what we'll do is we'll get out to everyone. We'll get back to you guys. If you're not following us already, well, you better go and follow us because that's where we'll post it. Oh, thank you so much, everyone. If you can, we can even take a picture. We can take a picture with everyone that is on the screen. I hope our new host, Tilas, I hope Tilas is helping us to take pictures now. You can just help us to take pictures. We'll do pictures. You can. Okay, I think, yes, it's already late in Nigeria. It's 10 p.m. People have to go to church. So help us turn on your camera before we take picture. Just turn on your camera and let's take picture. Turn it on and let's take pictures. Thank you. If you can, turn on your
I like
cameras. Let's take
Adiola's
picture.
smile. Her smile is so wide.
I know
Have you
it is
submitted your
late.
application? Adiola Delano.
She wants to submit her own. I think
Not
so.
You have
yet.
to remove your slide in order
You
for
have to remove your
everybody to
slides.
show.
Yes, I've done that. Can you see that I've done that, sir?
Yes, I can see now, but still not showing everybody. Let me see. Gallery.
You may need to just keep
You have to slide
changing
to the
slides. It won't be
side.
one person.
Yeah, we're on gallery now,
Yeah.
so
You will do like 500 slides or 10.
I
Trust me.
see you, Olu. I am see your honor.
Thank you, everyone. We'll
Baby,
share
talk me, I
yes,
see
once
you.
you leave a message, register. We have not taken the picture. We are just about taking it. So if you have not done so, turn on your cameras. Let me also post so that by the time my own picture is coming out, they won't say, who am I? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
I hope you have done it. Thank you. Bye-bye. We will
Thank
get
you
back
so
to you on
much.
2.0.
Thank you.
And it will be free. We won't charge you. Don't worry. This time is
Thank you
nation
so
building.
much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Doctor.
everyone.
Thank you, Barrister. God
Bye,
bless you.
everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
What's wrong with Come on. Okay, don't